There comes a moment in every warrior's life when the battlefield isn't a place. It's a mindset. A moment when the enemy isn't standing in front of you. The enemy is inside you. And the only way to win is to learn the art of war, not from books, not from legends, but from the battles you fight, alone, in silence, when no one is watching, when your heart is breaking but your spirit is still breathing fire. The art of war begins long before the first strike, long before the first roar, long before the first step forward. It begins the moment you decide that your life can no longer stay the same. The moment you look at yourself and say, enough, not loud, not angry, but with a calmness so sharp it could cut steel. That's how warriors are born, not from rage, but from clarity. A clarity that comes when you realize that survival is not living, and living is not enough. You were built for something greater, something heavier, something that demands pain, discipline, and sacrifice. And just like Goku before every impossible fight, you stand there alone, cracked but unbroken, knowing the world expects you to fall, yet you choose to rise. The art of war teaches you one brutal truth. Battles are not won by strength alone. They are won by strategy, patience, unshakable focus, and the refusal to let your fears speak louder than your purpose. When you wake up every morning, your mind is a battlefield. Your doubts are soldiers. Your fears are commanders. And you must defeat them before you conquer anything outside. You sharpen your mind like a blade, telling yourself that no obstacle is bigger than your will. The weak wait for motivation. The warrior creates it. The weak gets scared of the unknown. The warrior steps into darkness and lights it with discipline. The weak say, one day I will begin. The warrior says, today is the day. Because in the art of war, hesitation is death, and overthinking is surrender. You don't wait for perfect timing. You carve the timing with your bare hands. You drag yourself through the mud of discomfort until your body obeys your mind. The world sees your results. Only you see the battles you fight inside. And those inner battles, those are the real wars. You learn to stay silent. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you don't need validation. You don't need applause. You don't need anyone to tell you that you are capable. Warriors don't boast. Warriors don't beg. Warriors don't complain. They observe. They adapt. They attack when the moment is right. You start studying your enemy, whether your enemy is your laziness, your past, your failures, your fear of being alone, or your desire for comfort. You watch how it moves, how it whispers in your ears, how it tries to distract you. And then you destroy it, slowly, brutally, with discipline. That is the art of war, understanding your enemy before striking, understanding yourself before rising, understanding the battlefield before stepping into it. You don't fight blindly. You fight with intention. Every move is calculated. Every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is a blueprint. And every hardship is fuel. You start becoming someone else, someone calmer, sharper, stronger. People around you won't understand what you are becoming. They will say you've changed. They will say you've become distant. They will say you've become cold. But they won't understand that you are not becoming cold, you are becoming focused. They won't understand that silence isn't weakness. Silence is preparation. They won't understand that isolation isn't loneliness. Isolation is training. Goku didn't reach Super Saiyan by staying comfortable. He reached it because he embraced pain, pressure, and the impossible. That is your path now, stepping into the impossible until the impossible becomes normal. The art of war teaches you that sometimes retreat is strategy. Sometimes distance is power. Sometimes patience is the deadliest weapon. You learn to walk away from negativity. Not because you're weak, but because your energy is too valuable to waste. You learn that the real war is not between you and others, it's between you and your old self. Every day you must kill the version of you that was scared, lazy, distracted, unfocused, and replace him with someone who refuses to quit. You start creating habits like armor, waking up with intention, training like your body is a weapon, reading like your mind is a kingdom, working like your dreams are orders. And slowly, you become dangerous. Not dangerous to others, dangerous to your excuses, dangerous to your limits, dangerous to the version of you that settled for less. That is the warrior's transformation. The world starts noticing. They see your discipline. They see your glow. They see that spark in your eyes, the same spark Goku has when he knows the fight is about to change. They see the confidence you carry. Not loud, not arrogant, but calm, sharp, controlled. You don't seek shortcuts anymore because you finally understand that real victory is built on consistency, not luck. And when life hits you and life will hit you, you don't break. You don't panic. You don't collapse. You stand tall, breathe deep, and whisper to yourself, I was built for this. Because the art of war is not about avoiding battles. It's about being prepared for them. You accept that pain is part of the journey, fear is part of growth, and struggle is part of transformation. The more you endure, the more you evolve. And the more you evolve, the closer you come to the warrior you were meant to be. No matter who doubts you, no matter who laughs, no matter who leaves the art of war, teaches one final truth. The world respects results, not excuses. And you are on the path to becoming unstoppable. And as you walk deeper into this journey, you start realizing something powerful. The greatest battles are not won by the strongest man, but by the most disciplined mind. Muscles can tire, bones can crack, energy can fall, but a trained mind never collapses. It adapts, it reorganizes, it calculates. The art of war teaches you to always remain unpredictable. Never let your enemy, whether external or internal, know your next move. While others sleep, you train. While others complain, you strategize. While others waste time, you invest in yourself. Soon, the world begins to notice a pattern. You are not moving like everyone else. You're faster, sharper, more composed. Challenges that destroy others barely shake you. Pain that breaks others fuels you. Failure that scares others shapes you. Because you don't look at obstacles as problems. You look at them as opportunities to evolve into a stronger warrior. Every scar becomes a symbol of growth. Every setback becomes a chapter of mastery. Every silent night becomes preparation. You start to understand why warriors rarely speak, because the world can't comprehend the battles they've survived. You don't need to scream your greatness. Your work screams for you. You don't look for shortcuts. You build the long road with your own hands. You become someone who doesn't run from difficulty but walks straight into it. Knowing that storms don't break warriors, they sharpen them. The art of war turns you into someone who can stand alone without breaking. Someone who can look fear in the eyes without shaking. Someone who can lose everything and still rise like a flame refusing to die. People will question your silence. They will ask why you stopped hanging out. Why you stopped wasting time. Why you stopped trying to fit in. But you won't have the energy to explain that you have stepped into a different battlefield, the battlefield of self-mastery. You no longer care about being liked. You care about being legendary. You no longer care about comfort. You care about conquest. You no longer care about validation. You care about victory. And victory doesn't come to the loudest person in the room, it comes to the most prepared. You move like a shadow, silent but deadly. You focus on building, not bragging. You focus on discipline, not distractions. You focus on leveling up, not showing off. And slowly, the world stops doubting and starts wondering, how did he become so strong? But they will never understand the nights you wrestled with your thoughts, the mornings you woke up before dawn, the sacrifices you made while everyone slept, the battles you fought in silence. They will see the results, but they will never see the preparation. They will see the transformation, but they will never see the inner war. You learn to expect nothing from anyone and everything from yourself. That is the code of a warrior. Self-reliance. The moment you depend on others, you give them power over your destiny. You don't allow that. You take full command of your path. You become the general of your own life. The strategizer, the fighter, the executioner. When something goes wrong, you don't blame circumstances, you adjust the plan. When people betray you, you don't collapse, you study the lesson. When life pushes you down, you don't complain, you push back harder. This is the attitude that separates warriors from the weak. Resilience. And as you continue, a deeper truth begins to reveal itself. The greatest war you will ever fight is the war against your own comfort. Comfort is the silent killer of dreams. Comfort steals your ambitions slowly, gently, softly, without you even noticing. It whispers in your ears, rest a little more, skip today, try tomorrow. It's not that serious. But the art of war teaches you that comfort is the most dangerous enemy because it doesn't attack you, it seduces you, and you must learn to destroy it before it destroys your future. So you start waking up earlier. You start pushing harder. You start training your mind to act even when you don't feel like it. That is how warriors are built, not through motivation, but through discipline built on days when motivation is dead. You begin to love discomfort because you finally understand that discomfort is not punishment, it is progress. It is the universe shaping you, forging you, preparing you for battles you can't yet see. Goku didn't become stronger by staying in comfort. He became stronger by stepping into gravity chambers, pushing his limits, entering harsher environments. You do the same, not physically, but mentally. You increase the gravity of your expectations. You push beyond the limits of your excuses. You stop waiting for inspiration and become your own source of energy. And with every passing day, the war becomes less about fighting others and more about conquering yourself. The art of war also teaches you the value of emotional control. A warrior who cannot control his emotions is a weapon pointed at his own chest. Anger blinds you, fear cages you, sadness slows you, ego destroys you. So you learn how to remain calm, even when everything around you is falling apart. You learn how to breathe through chaos. You learn how to walk through fire without letting it consume your mind. You learn how to stay composed even when you feel like collapsing. That control is what gives you power, real power, the kind of power that makes enemies fear you without you lifting a finger. You don't react impulsively. You respond strategically. You don't rush. You wait for the perfect moment. You don't waste your energy arguing. You invest your energy in improving. You don't let emotions dictate your actions. You let discipline lead the way. And slowly, a transformation occurs. Your mind becomes your strongest weapon. Your habits become your armor. Your resilience becomes your shield. Your silence becomes your strategy. Your discipline becomes your sword. And your purpose becomes your war cry. You start realizing that every second wasted is a second handed to your enemy. So you cut off distractions like poison. You stop scrolling endlessly. You stop gossiping. You stop wasting energy on people who drain your ambition. You stop comparing your journey to others. Because the art of war teaches you that comparison is a trap. It weakens your focus and destroys your clarity. The only person you need to compare yourself to is the version of you from yesterday. If you are better today, even by 1%, you are winning the war. And that small win, repeated daily, becomes unstoppable momentum. Your confidence grows. Your aura shifts. Your presence becomes heavy. People can feel your determination without you speaking a word. You start walking like someone who knows exactly where he's going. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't understand your mission. You stop seeking permission to chase your goals. You stop caring about opinions that don't matter. Because you finally understand that your destiny is not a democracy, it's a battlefield. And only you get to decide how far you will go.